Okay, do we have sound? Check, 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 check. We got sound. It's about damn time. All right, guys, can you see me and hear me? Are we good? What a ginormous pain in the behind. Okay, we're good. Holy crap. Here I thought, man, I'm back. It's about time. And then that happens. What happened, I'm thinking, is my computer updated because the second I hit live, it did all kinds of weird stuff with Chrome. And it must have updated literally between the time I scheduled it and the time we went live, because all of a sudden everything just went wacky, like stuff I had never seen. Anyhow, let me know if I'm too loud now, because I cranked up the volumes, wake you guys up a bit. But hey, man, it's good to be back. And sorry for the little break there. And the break over the last few weeks, it's just been tough, very tough. I've been so busy, and work and spring and all kinds of stuff to do. And the wife's remodeling the whole house upstairs. This basement led to more, if you know what I mean. Anyhow, I've got a bunch of good stuff for you tonight, and I'm not sure if the president's on right now, or wait, ex-vice president, or if he already spoke. But either way, it's better that you're here listening to me than being bored by him and or the pundits that will no doubt dice, slice, and reiterate and regurgitate every word he has to say. Who cares? Who cares? I'm sick of it all. So, there's other channels for that stuff. But we're going to have some fun tonight. I did manage over the last few weeks to accumulate a few things. Seems like stuff's coming back a little bit in a lot of shops and stores and different stuff. So we got all kinds of new stuff. I dropped a video today on a 7.5 AR. Yeah, thanks, Orion. I appreciate that. Orion Fixer, he's hard to please, So when he says he likes something, that must mean something, because sometimes he's like, yeah, it's okay, or nah, I don't like that stuff. He speaks his mind. So yeah, it is a cool little pistol. Can't say enough about it. I did it on a whim. I had wanted a 7.5 for a while. Kind of out of things to build, right? And it's just been hard to find a barrel and handguard for short stuff. Everybody's building them. You can find, 16-inch barrel stuff like that. But shorty stuff, there's nothing out there. So when I picked up the Tavor, I picked up 2 receivers, and I usually buy arrows, but the arrow, there have been nothing around. I mean, if you check their site once in a while, they pop up. By the time I get the email, they're gone, and remind me to get to that, because man, I lucked out, completely lucked out. But anyhow, I got a couple receivers by a company called Recoil Gunworks, RG. They're out of Indiana. And the one receiver is nothing to speak of. It's a standard mil-spec receiver. And I happened to get an email from a friend that I forget who it was, if it was Primary Arms or Aero Precision, or it might have been Midway. Who knows? One of them had a Aero Precision complete upper, everything except the handguard, bolt carrier, and charging handle, for a 7.5. and no muzzle device either. But they were on sale for like $199, right? Couldn't beat it. Just couldn't beat it. And I figured, well, the email, somebody here, I think actually might have emailed me that. And it came across and I checked it out, and sure enough, it was there. And then boom, my only handguard I could find that would remotely work was a BCM. Hey, how bad is that, right? Other than the price tag, of course. But a really nice BCM handguard. Pick rail on top, M-lock all the way around. They're real thin profile. And it came right to the end of the barrel. So I put a KAK flash can on it, which fit. I mean, it comes right up. It's perfect. And what else did I do? K-grip. We put a Holosun 510C on it. And then here, I'm going to show you the box. We've got this Strike Industries PDW stabilizer brace. So it's pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen this, it comes all in one set, and it comes with the buffer tube, buffer spring, and the brace. And if you can see it, that's what it looks like folded up. And you hit a button right underneath here, and it's spring loaded. It pops out. So there's two positions, and the rods go down along receiver here like that. It's really cool, really short, just awesome and super cool. But the neat thing is, usually when these braces are as short as this one is, you need a different bolt carrier. But in this case, you can use the stock bolt carrier, and it comes with the buffer and spring, like I said. So the buffer, I was shocked. I opened the box. I'm at the shop. I opened the box. I'm not kidding you. The buffer is this long. It's that big. It's like 1 inch. Front of it looks the same. The disc that retains it in the tube. And then the actual buffer is like 1/2 inch. It's that big. Flat wire spring. And I asked the guy, I said, how have people been liking these? And he's like, well, I don't know, And this one sort of looked like maybe it had been installed on a gun and taken off. I thought, watch somebody return this thing. And they don't work. But if you watch the video, I took it out, set it up, and it ran like nobody's business. And if you watch the video, I'm not kidding you. It was daylight, and you can still see, Orion, what would you say, 5-6 foot fireballs out of the front of that thing? If it doesn't get the attacker with a bullet, it'll certainly burn them to death. One of the two. So it's really cool. It ended up just a super neat package. Those BCM handguards come with an M-lock, quick detach QD point you can put on the M-lock. Comes with a couple short rail sections. They really do a nice job. It is so tight, so precision, that in the instructions you have to heat it up with a heat gun to get it to expand enough to slide over the barrel nut and everything. It's that precise. I mean, you talk about tighter than a gnat's ass. Incredible. But it turned out really cool. So when we're done here, go over, check out that video. They demonetized it for why? Because I don't know. All of a sudden, I was going along just fine. Videos were coming up. I'm putting them up, and they're all monetized, no problem. All of a sudden, man, bam, 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 bam. Maybe this stream finally caught up to me, and they're put me on the wiki list. I don't know. But every single video I've uploaded, and I know you guys haven't seen a lot. You've seen like 2 from me in like a month and a half, other than live streams. And every single one I put up has been demonetized. So that's why you haven't seen a lot, because I refuse to take my time, money, effort, knowledge, all of that, and put it up for free on YouTube. So they can gain. They still get paid, mind you, for the commercials. I just don't. And I didn't do this for the money. Trust me, I'm not in it for the money. But out of principle, it just says, why should they get paid and I don't, when I'm the one spending the money on the guns, the ammo, the time, the memberships, and on and on and on and on. Ridiculous that they should get paid 100%. And, normally we get paid, I forget what the percentage is, but it's a tiny, tiny percentage. And then get nothing out of it, for all of that. So when they demonetize it, I pull the video down. I don't even go public with it. I pull it down. Yeah, I get it. You guys don't get to see it, but screw it. I'm not doing it. So, out of principle. Now, I dropped that one today just because I thought it was cool and I wanted you guys to see it. If maybe I'll do something where I just don't leave them up. I put them up for a while, let my subscribers see them, and then I'll yank them or something like that. I don't know. It just pisses me off. There's nothing against their rules in there. We're not building anything. We're not modifying anything. We're not nothing. We're on a range. Like they say, you have to answer a question. Are you shooting in a safe environment on a range? Yes. There's nothing that's against their principle or their policies. So screw it. I pulled it down. I did not pull it down, but I may. Go over there and check it out and tell me what you think. I think you'll like it. Anyways, this was one of the things we picked up. I was there getting handguard and all, and I was just going to do a cheapy regular brace, and I came across this, and I said, when you put an AR together, you always want to do something cool, something different, right? Something you don't have, something you don't see every day. And this was it. It's a quality piece. It's really, really nice. And the price tag, though, if you can see this now, I didn't pay this, but here. And I probably could have got it cheaper somewhere else. Can you see that? $3 for that sucker. Not cheap, but cool factor. Very cool. Anyhow, so that video's up. That's one of the things we picked up. Let's get to the comments here real quick, and then I'll go through some of the other stuff we manage, including ammo. I've been finding some ammo and been getting some pretty good prices too. You'll be proud of me, and I'll give you some tips where to look. So let's see who's in here. Chase Kelly, Joe Morgan, Orion Fixer, Dan Dude, 2010, Martin Co., Pennsylvania. He's always in from Pennsylvania. I think it's you from Pennsylvania, or we may have a couple others in here. It's cool to see where you guys are all from and where I'm reaching. It's kind of neat. You've had some woes with these things lately. Yeah, I have. I'm not going to say it. Everything's streaming good, I guess. So I'm not saying it. We got the dish for the satellite finally, or for the internet satellite finally put on the roof. So yeah, that's another story. I've got a hip style roof and the angles are like this. You can't even climb it. Once you get on the roof, you can't climb it. If you're interested, I'll tell you the story. I wish I had video of it. You guys would laugh your ass off if you saw my fat ass up there. Trying to haul a satellite dish up there and drill and mount it and all crazy. Thanks for bringing intelligence to us later. Is after the tots. I fondled Jeremy Whitwell. I fondled the Norinco 84S 556AK today. Cool. It had a great trigger pull and reset, and racking it was so smooth. Although I did get the bolt carrier to stick open. They wanted $23.99. Holy moly. Let's talk about Norincos. I've got probably the rarest Norinco ever made, right? You guys have seen my video on the bake side folder. Wish I could show it to you here. God, that gun's beautiful. They go 35 to 45 and higher, and the gun was $299 when we bought it. It's crazy what they're doing. But the Norinco 84s, the 5.56s, they weren't popular back in the day. They just weren't. They were like the last ones on the shelf, the ones nobody wanted, because if you were buying an AK back then, what did you want? You wanted 7.62, right? So they kind of sat, they lingered. If I remember right, they take a different mag different mag. I don't think the magwell's messed with. Never owned one, but I've seen them, and frankly, like everybody else, didn't pay much attention to them. But there was a video came out, I'm going to guess maybe a year ago, maybe a little more. Mac did it, Military Arms Channel. And he did a video on unboxing and shooting a brand new one out of the box. He found some guy that had 3 or 4 of them. He unboxed it and shot it live on air. And, he's talking like, oh my God, I know that the purists are thinking this is sacrilege. I'm going to shoot it. But yeah, that's why I bought it. And here we go. And he shoots it. And like anything Norinco, they're good guns. And it functions very, very well. What can you say? It's a nice gun. And today they're more popular because, look, 5.56 AKs are kind of a thing now, right? You got the Sam 7.5, which I got, and we can talk about that a little. I took that out again and trying some of my reloads and some different stuff, and we've come across a bunch of AR ammo I'll get into here. So I've been shooting anything 5.56 or 2.23 a lot lately. And a matter of fact, we've been reloading, and I'll show you. Here we go. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, a nice tray of new ones. I always like how these things look in these holders, these shell holders. I got a really cool picture of some 308 all lined up like that in a close-up, and it looks really neat. But look at that. Always looks cool when you get the right angle on them. But reloaded a bunch of these. These are just 55 grain Sierras. And we reloaded them today with some CFE 223 powder, about 26.5 grains. And I'm thinking they're over 3,000 feet per second. We should be approaching like M193 ammo somewhere in there, but a lot more accurate, I'm guessing. But anyways, those Norinkos, those are cool, and they're getting more popular. As far as that Sam 5 that I have, and for you guys that don't know, Sam 5 is just like a Sam 7, just the 5 stands for 5.56. It's in an AR round, and great gun. Looks just like a fixed stock Sam 7 from the outside, other than the mag. And it's been really reliable. It throws brass a country mile. I've never seen another AK throw brass further than this thing. I'm not talking 20 feet. I'm not talking 25 feet. I'm talking 40 feet. I kid you not. 40 feet. You got to go searching for this stuff. I'm looking for my brass to pick it up, and I can't find it. Finally, I just loaded a mag and shot some and watched where they went. It went up over the hill at the range. I'm digging around in the weeds for this stuff. But it also dents the brass real bad. So it's essentially garbage. So I've been shooting steel case out of it. I've got a bunch of 5.56 steel case that, hey, might as well burn through it on that. Anyways, so good to have Jeremy here. Thanks for contributing, Jeremy. Joe Morgan finally finished the 16-inch A2. All right. Awesome. Have you shot it yet? I hope you did. I got a BCM charging handle and CMC drop-in bootleg bolt carrier group. See, BCM makes super nice stuff, guys. If you want to go to war rifle or just something you can count on all the time, BCM is the way to go. Or, I'd count on an arrow too. I have no problems with arrow, but been having the itch for BCM lately after getting that handguard. So we'll see. 7x57 is Mauser. Unsure on the other. 7mm. It depends, Martin Co. What is the difference between 7mm and 7mm Mauser? 7mm Mauser is, like Joe said, 7x57. That's your World War II round, your German Mauser ammo. And there's 2 ammos for that too, right? The earlier one and the later one. You got to be careful on those. And then, 7mm, are they referring to 7mm mag? What are they referring to? You got to do a little deeper dive there, or tell us what kind of rifle or gun it's on, and we'll give you a little more help there. Let's see what else we got. Jeremy Woodall, way too many. Yeah. Let's see, where to go. Way too many 7mm to deduce what you're talking about. Yeah, you are correct. Also traded into a Ruger SR22 for my G2C. Awesome. SR22. I'm trying to think. That's the yeah, my dad's got one of those. I got it for him for Father's Day. Really neat, nice gun. They function flawlessly. If it's the one I'm thinking about. Can I use 7mm non-Mauser ammo in my Mauser? They look the same. It may be. It very well may be the same, but you're going to have to check because, like Joe said, 7x5.7. That's the kind of the standard Mauser ammo for the German K98s. But there's other stuff too. You really need to find somebody that knows what they're talking about, and the markings on your gun. Full 30. I don't know. Is Full 30 making a comeback, guys? I'd like to go over there. I've got some emails from them lately. I made an account early on, and it wouldn't let me load stuff. And now all of a sudden I'm getting emails that I'm up and good. I haven't loaded anything. When you're going to post some stuff? Maybe I should try. Maybe they approve me. I don't know. At first, I think it was all the big shots, and then they let the medium shots and small shots in after that. So I don't know where I fall. Speaking of that, we did cross 4,000 subscribers. We're at 41 something. We are going to do a giveaway at 5,000 subscribers. I am contacting Mr. Krebs, and we are going to give away some Krebs gear and some Krebs parts, and hopefully do a live stream or at least an interview with Mr. Krebs, because he was there at the beginning. Literally, when I had 100 or 200 subscribers, he was the guy that opened his doors to me. Didn't know me from Adam. I came in the shop. We sat around, talked, looked at everything, built guns, drank vodka, and had a nice time. But I don't know. Maybe he just liked me, whatever. Thanks to my good friend El Tenda, who introduced us. If you haven't checked out his channel, check out his channel. He recently did a Z-Pap with all Krebs parts, and it's really, really cool. I'm jealous of it. If my maple wood wasn't so nice, I might convert mine over. I still might, because I like it that much. He did a great job on it. But yeah, we're going to do a giveaway at 5,000. So, share, tell your friends about the channel, get them to subscribe. And when we get to 5,000, I'm going to do a giveaway. I'll figure out something. There's a bunch of online apps for giveaways, and Mark always said he'd help us out with that. So we'll get you guys, not only get the channel to 5,000, but help you guys out with some free swag. And I'm not talking t-shirts and stuff. I'm talking hard parts, AK parts here, guys. We'll give out a few cool things. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Joe wants to hear the I'm on the roof story. We'll get to that when I run out of things to talk about, because we got a lot to go through here. Virgin Islands, Florida. Wow, man. I wish I was down there. That's Vepper AK sold at. I love my Veppers, man. We're going to have to do some more a video on Veppers, an update and shooting them. God, they are by far my favorite AKs. I love Veppers. If you don't have a Vepper, you get one. Pay the money, whatever they're going for, whatever they're worth today. Get one. I don't know. I might wait a little bit. They might come down, because last ones I saw, I almost had a heart attack. I'm glad I got mine when they were never cheap, but I got them cheap compared to today. And they'll never go away. But yeah. Let's see. No One Big Bear finally got here. Howdy, everyone. You haven't missed nothing. Just me babbling about nothing. But that's why we're here, right? Entertain ourselves. Just remember, it's better than watching the ex-vice president. You could be doing that right now, or watching the pundits talk about it. Joe Morgan, I did find M193 and even green tips under 80 cents recently, all new production. Yes, sir. That's what I've got to talk about. So let's talk about ammo. I did that ammo video. God, it's months already back. I can't believe it. And I was still finding cheap ammo when the other guys all around the country were saying, they were actually calling bullshit, and they get mad at me like, it's your fault that we have no ammo. I'm like, I'm not hoarding, guys. Matter of fact, there'd be other guys there and I'd have some and there's none on the shelf. I say, here, you want a couple boxes? Take it. I've got ammo, but I buy to shoot on the channel so I can keep what I have in storage. Anyways, we still had ammo here, and I travel a long way for work, so I can hit 4 or 5 places on my days where I get off early and check them out. Mostly big box stores, your Farm and Fleets, your Fleet Farms, places like that. You used to be Walmart's, but not anymore. But that kind of place where they sell ammo, but guns are not their main business, right? So they don't fluctuate their prices with the markets. Where gun shops say, hey, this is all we have to sell, so we got to make hay while the sun shines. And I get it. And in my opinion, they should. If they can only get so much product, they still have to pay the bills. So if you've got 10 items to sell, and that's it, instead of 100 that you normally would have, well, you still got to pay the rent on those 10 items. So what happens? Price goes up. It's capitalism, guys. That's how it works, unfortunately. Don't be mad at them because of your failure to plan, kind of deal, I guess is what I'm saying. Anyhow, let's show you what we came across. Don't get me wrong, ammo is still very scarce, okay? You're not going to find it everywhere. And it's been tough. There's been many, many, many days I stop in and literally the shelves are bare. There used to be, the odd calibers and stuff, one of which, the Mauser, 7mm Mauser, that stuff was on the shelves almost to the end. But then, 300 Winchester and all the big Magnum cartridges and everything, that was left. But even that's gone now. There is nothing. And these big box stores, instead of putting it out on the shelf now, are putting it behind the gun counter, and they put a box of each on the shelf in the display case with a price tag, and you ask them for 2. You can buy 2 boxes. These are at the Farm and Fleet stores. You can buy 2 boxes of rimfire, 2 boxes of rifle cartridges, and 2 boxes of handgun cartridges. And that's it. You can't get 2 boxes of 5.56 and then 2 boxes of 308. No, just 2 boxes. So that's kind of crappy, but hey, they got ammo. So here is some 7.62 by 51, essentially M80 ball. It says that on there actually. So Winchester white box M80 ball. This, I believe, was about $23 a box, a little over $1 a round. But hey, it's 308. I reload a lot of 308, most all of my 308, but now with the AR-10, it's nice to have some M80 ball, and that gun sighted in for that and everything. I stopped at a place. I was going up way north in Wisconsin, and I stopped by a place. It's a huge gun supermarket, basically, and I get a lot of reloading stuff there, and they happen to have 9mm on the shelf. And you see weird stuff now. I don't know if it's new old stock or if they're just coming out with new stuff so it looks different or what, but I found this Sierra 9mm 124 grain brass cased, and they're hollow points, which I haven't seen much defensive ammo around, especially, other than expensive like critical defense and all. And 124 grain, nice Sierra bullets, big hollow point. And they weren't bad. This is the one I don't remember really what I paid. I want to say it was about 18 or 19 bucks a box for 25 rounds. And I had never seen this. It's called Outdoor Master Sierra. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but yeah, so I got 3 boxes of that. I don't think there was a limit on it. Maybe it was 3 or 4 boxes. Maybe that's why I got 3. But no, I could have got more, but I just didn't want to spend the money. I reload my own, so including hollow points. But hey, there it was. And this stuff shoots phenomenal. And it's the one ammo so far I found that runs pretty flawlessly in my Micro 9, my Kimber Micro 9. That gun, guys, that Micro 9 has become an issue. Nothing likes to run in that gun. If that gun is cocked open and the slide's held back and I'm doing a mag change or inserting a new mag, I put the mag in, I hit the slide release, it comes forward, and that first round that's in the mag sticking up like this, when the slide hits the back of it, the nose dives and it runs right into the feed ramp and stops every single time. And once you clear that, it seems to run okay, but it will develop a couple stoppages here and there. I've tried loading all different lengths, different powers, different bullets. It'll even do it on Full Metal Jacket stuff. I want so bad for that gun to be something that I bring into my rotation on my everyday carry, and I just can't because it's so unreliable. I've tried everything. I don't know what to do other than contact Mr. Krebs because, believe it or not, he started out life as a 1911 master. He built tons. His claim to fame was 1911 race guns for IPSC and 3-gun, IPSC back then. And he got into AKs later, but he is a master of the 1911. So maybe I'll bring it there. I haven't even read much on these if people are having problems with it. They got that new one, Black Ice or something. God, that thing is gorgeous. And it's a beautiful gun. It's all metal. It's really well crafted. But what good is it if it doesn't run? It just sucks. It's really pissing me off. So they also had on the shelf, which, guys, reloading stuff is getting far and few between. You can't even find bullets. So they had these Sierras, the only 9mm for reloading, and I've used most of them. They're loaded. I'll show you. They're 9mm, 355 diameter, 90 grain jacketed hollow points. Now, I've never bought, never loaded, never nothing a 90 grain bullet in a 9mm. But since it was all that was available, I thought, hey, maybe we can crank these suckers up and really get these things moving. So here's some that I loaded. They do load shorter than most by about 1/10 of an inch. They are pretty short. I should show you next to one of these 124 grain hollow points. Might be interesting. By the way, yeah, I've been dealing with this too. Hurt my wrist pretty bad. Had to go to immediate care today. I literally thought it was broke because it hurt that bad, and it was that swollen this morning, and I couldn't move it, and it hurt like hell. But so I went. They said it's not broken, but something about it's at the point here where a big juncture of, I don't know, ligaments and stuff come together, and that X-ray won't show it. That I'd have to do an MRI. So we'll see. He said if it still hurts in 2 weeks, come back. Great. Anyhow, so here is the 90 grain. Here's the 124 grain. Let's see if I can kind of even them out. See how much shorter, guys? I don't know if that's coming through on the camera, but that's about right there. So it's a lot shorter. And I was hoping these would feed maybe in that Kimber, but let me look here without having to deal with the camera and tell you what I was seeing is, yeah, it is that much shorter. What you were seeing, it is that much shorter. So there's the difference in length. That's legit. Anyhow, I don't have a chronograph, so I don't know how fast these things are going. And I'm first loading, so I didn't juice it up. I went safe. and they seem to shoot well though, and something different, right? So I'll see if I can get some info on that and see. Maybe we develop a new round for, who knows? Maybe I can shoot them through the scorpions, or we got another personal defense weapon. I actually, and Joe Morgan's going to kill me here when he hears this. So I walk in Fleet Farm, a lot of Fleet Farm today. Walk in and they've got a G2C, they've got a G3C, and they've got the Taurus 22. Is it? I forget what their the letters are that go with it, but they're 22, and that's a really nice, reliable 22. And in all actuality, probably what I should have bought, because I like that 22 and I want one. It was between the Ruger, that, and the Glock. Well, I bought the Glock 22 a few months back, 6 months ago. Yeah, TX22. They had all three of them there. I could have bought all of them if I wanted to. And trust me, I was tempted. But my dad's got the Ruger 22, and that's a great gun. It runs just about anything. I've got the Glock, which I am supremely disappointed in. It's a Glock 44, right? Is the 22. And while it runs quality high power ammunition, mini mags and plus, that you can't run just anything. And in a 22, I want to run whatever I got, the junk that's laying around and that kind of thing. And it just doesn't. It's not reliable. Matter of fact, the Ruger is way more reliable. And then a friend of mine at work has that TX22, and he raves about it, that it eats anything and everything. And, everybody I've talked to has said the same thing. You can feed it the most garbage 22 ammo you have laying around, and it'll run it. So I really wanted it, but, with my buddy 2A EDU, with him and his G2Cs and G3Cs, I thought, man, I got to get one of these G3Cs. And I tell you the truth, I didn't know the difference between the G2 and the G3, but they were side by side, and I got to look at them. So the sights are different. The G2 has adjustable sights. The G3 doesn't. A few other different things. I kind of like some of the options on the G2 better, but of course you want the latest and greatest. So it was coming down to the G3 or the 22. And then I said to myself, you know what? They were on sale, $299 each. And any one of those three guns, $299. Great price, right? Especially considering what's going on. And they had a few of them. So I said, well, screw it. I'm going to buy the 22 and the G3. And I'm all ready to go. I'm filling out the forms and everything. And the guy says, hey, by the way, did you see this? And it was in the same case, but there was one of those counter mats, the padded counter mats over it, so I couldn't see it. And he pulls it out of the case, and it's a personal defense weapon, a 9mm Ruger, the takedown. It's like their carbine, their 9mm carbine, but this is the pistol, and you can take down the barrel. It comes with like a 4-inch barrel. I guess you can put a 16 on it if you want. There's a pick rail on the back, no brace, no stock. And he shows me that, and I'm like, oh, kind of cool. It takes like the Glock mags for the it takes the Glock mags, or it takes the Ruger something 6 mags or something. Whatever their 9mm pistol is, it takes those mags too. And it came with one of those. So I had to get some 32 round Glock mags, those are $50 a crack. And I said, I'm debating, right? What do I want? 2 pistols or that? And I ended up with the Ruger, the 9mm takedown pistol. Got a SB folding brace for it. It's threaded for a silencer. Maybe we'll silence it. I got the Glock mags in it. Haven't put a red dot on it yet. So I haven't shot a video. Haven't even shot the thing yet. But it certainly is cool. with the Glock mags, they angle back. I don't like the look of it. And maybe because I'm comparing it to a Scorpion, all my Scorpions, I love the Scorpions. And this thing just doesn't have the look, although the takedown thing is so cool. It's like the movies where they put a silencer on and click, Here you're putting the whole barrel on. But I guess after you take it apart, put it together a few times, all the coolness is gone. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm tempted. It's the first purchase I've made ever as far as guns go where I went, I don't know if I want it. I mean, think about that. I haven't even shot it yet. I've had it for weeks. And I was at the range and I brought it and I still didn't shoot it. I don't know. Maybe I'll just sell it. I don't know. It just doesn't enthrall me. And I've got the Scorpions that fit that bill so well. So maybe I'll leave it new in the box and just sell it. I don't know. We'll see. I probably can get more than I paid, I'm assuming, since they had $299 for those pistols. You can imagine how cheap this was. I want to say it was like $5.99 or $6.29, something like that. Anyways, just not enthralled. Now I haven't shot it yet, so who knows. But so they did have some 32 round Glock mags and picked up a whole bunch of these, $49. And so the stuff's out there. For a while you couldn't find these, and they're there. Real Glock, not phony baloney, real stuff. When it comes to Glock, I just buy the real stuff. I do have a couple P mags, but so they had those. So we got 308 ammo. We got 9mm hollow points. We've got 9mm reloading components. What else did we get? We got some Wolf. What is this? 308 Winchester steel case. If you guys go back to my AR-10 video on my super cool American Eagle custom done Aero Precision Cerakote job, I shot just for kicks some of this Wolf 308 out of there after shooting some match grade ammo. And this stuff at 100 yards, I just ripped off 3 shots, all touching. I was shocked. You can see it on the video live. I mean, I did it right there. 3 shots, all touching. I wasn't expecting it. We walked down to the target, and I'm like, oh, my God. All these snobs would never believe it if I hadn't just done it. And stuff is accurate as all get out. Now, so is the rifle, but and that's where you got to start. But for those of you that don't like steel case, that laugh at steel case, that say it's going to wear my gun prematurely, I'm here to tell you, give it a try. I'm not going to say you don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to say you don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing wrong with steel case. Steel case, will it wear your gun faster? No, it will not. Will it wear an ejector faster or not an ejector, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe. Will it break one? Probably not. Could it wear one? Sure. But who cares? They're a few dollars and 5 minutes to replace. And I'll tell you right now, I haven't. Has anyone broken one on an AK? Think about that. Yeah, I get it. It's an AK. They're made for that steel case, but I shoot through my ARs all the time and no problems whatsoever. Oh, this is nothing. This is just it's an old box of Critical Defense that I saved the box and put some of those reloaded 90s in. What else did we get? We also got some Winchester White Box 223. So it's not 5.56 ammo. It's not usually what I've been finding is the Winchester 193, M193, or the green tip. And didn't find any of that. We did find the Winchester 223. And the velocity stated is just about the same. It's 3,100 or 3,200 feet per second, and it shoots fine. And the great news on that was it was only $13.50 a box. So that's really cheap in today's prices, right? So that's the ammo we found over the last few weeks. And the 223, that's the last stuff I'm getting into. But I've found several batches at several places, both that 223, the green tip, and the M193. I've found it several times at several places. So it's available. It's out there, which is really cool. So what else did we find? Oh, yeah. So, proposed bans and all the stuff they're talking about. Biden's coming out with all the new stuff. Maybe he spoke about it tonight. I don't know. I didn't watch him. But mags are still cheap. Even locally, I walk in a shop and he's got PMags for $11. Well, you don't get them cheaper than that. No shipping, right? So loaded up on those. And then he had some of these laying around. And somebody, I think maybe 2A had these or bought these and showed them. But they're UTG. See if you can see this. UTG Air 15 mags, 223556 polymer magazine. Now, I really like these things, and I thought I had one here and out loaded, but I'll open the pack. Who cares? I want to show it to you guys. These things, for the money, and the price tag was on here. Let me see. $15, okay, but I did see them the other day somewhere for less than that, like 13 and change. So they're more than a PMag, but I've seen them down in PMag range, like $12, $13. But here's what they look like. They're a window, and I shouldn't say that. I haven't seen PMags like this in this price range because they're windowed mags, and the cheapest I've seen a windowed PMag is like 13 and change. So these are windowed mags. The polymer, if I were to try and tell the difference between a Magpul and this, matter of fact, here's a Magpul, different color, but God, so you'd swear it was the same polymer, same plant. I do like these followers too. They've got anti-tilt followers, all four corners. And, some anti-tilts you can move a little bit. These things don't move. They go really nice. They're quiet, if you can hear that. I mean, really quiet. What I like most about them are these dimples here. So these are raised a little bit, and then these outer dots here are raised even more. And they're kind of separated like your fingers are, right? So it gives you a nice grab to it, really comfortable in your hand. I also like these base plates. Look at this. So you see the hole in the bottom of this? You'd say, well, what's that for? Is that for a lanyard or something like that? Maybe. But I think it's there because look at the space you have in here. That's a pretty big indent. I get half my fingernail in there, right? Plus this, it almost acts as a shock absorber when it hits the ground, right? Because of that space in there. So I'm thinking these things will wear really well. They feel well. They look great. I mean, they really look cool. Plus, they're windowed. Anti-tilt follower. I like the blue, too. It stands out. Just, I thought, a great deal. I'm going to get more of these. I got 2 of them, but I think I'm going to get more. I run them in the gun, too. They work great. Work really, really nice. While we're on the subject of mags, and I've been reloading, right? So as I'm reloading shells, I'm just loading them right into mags. Now, there's a company out there that you see a lot of their stuff on my channel, and it's MFT, Mission First Tactical. And the first stuff I started using of theirs was their minimalist stock. I put them on some AKs that I had buffer tubes on, put them on some ARs. I got them on my VR80 shotgun. Well, they make a lot of other stuff that's really neat too. They make some cool stocks. I've got their core on my NPAP and a few other things, but I had never seen their mags. Now, they make a couple different versions. There's like a Gen 1 and Gen 2, and the Gen 1 looks kind of cheap. I just don't like the looks of it. This, I believe, is the Gen 2. Yeah. And I like these too. Again, same Magpul-like polymer. Hard to tell the difference. Seem really quality. You've got some dots down here that you could do something with as far as marking them, but they're kind of raised instead of indented. You've got these finger grooves here, and they're really comfortable in your hand. The only thing I don't like is the back is squared a little bit. It's not quite as comfortable as a Magpul, but another quality mag, and these were under $10. So, and they function flawlessly. Nice thick base plate, almost identical in length to a Magpul, I believe. Yeah, look at that. Actually, just a hair shorter. Let's see. No, identical. Identical. So just a good looking mag. Something different, you know, we see this so much. It's just neat to see something different. And then, of course, the UTG. If you ask me, between these three, so that one, the Mission First Tactical, the Magpul, God, that was hurting my wrist. The Magpul and the Mission First, or the UTG. I like the looks of this UTG. I think it's pretty cool. And then, of course, but can't beat the, this is OD green, and I love OD green. It's hard to see it in the light. It almost looks black, right? Well, there you can tell, right? So while we're on the subject of OD green, let's get back to AKs a little bit here, shall we? Since this is an AK channel and all we seem to talk about is everything but AKs. I got that Sam 7 side folder, right? And love it. Absolutely love it. Out of the box, one of the best shooting guns with iron sights I've ever bought, owned, or shot. It's just smooth, functions flawlessly. I like the folding stock. I like everything about it. And I got mine with OD green furniture, which in that case is just the handguard and the pistol grip. So I was, going on about in the video about OD green. Oh, I got it with OD green. And some guy made some shitty comment that, oh, you talk like this OD green is rare and this and that is cheap U.S. furniture. Well, no shit. But I like it, and it's different. I'm not saying it's something special. Maybe someday it will be. Maybe someday they'll, by the serial number of the box it came in, oh, this was an original, because anybody could put different colored furniture. But if you had a match serial number, this one came in plum, or this one came in OD, and there's obviously less of them than black ones. So maybe to a collector, they will be worth more money down the line. Matter of fact, I can guarantee they will be. I promise you. But it really needed something to complete it. Now, when you get a gun in either plum or OD or tan or whatever, in a fixed stock version, your stock is also that color, whether it's OD or plum or whatever. But you're missing one thing. You're missing the mags. Because early on, the Bulgarians made short runs of plum mags, OD green mags. There was even a different green. There was a white. There was a tan, a bunch of colors. And they become really rare, right? I see plum ones go for hundreds of dollars, hundreds and hundreds. And I think there was a clear too, but those cracked. And they're all the Circle 10 Bulgarian Waffle mags, right? So I needed an OD mag for this. And there's been several times I've had them pop up, and I just thought, I'm not spending that kind of money. Well, this one popped up, and I got it. It's mine, all mine, all mine. And it looks so good in there. I'm going to have to bring you a video showing it. So again, because it's hard, especially on video, it's hard to see the difference. Here, I guess it looks okay. But here, compared to black, it just ends up being like gray or something sometimes in a lot of video. But yeah, I got one. So with the pistol grip, the handguard, and this, it just kind of sets it off. So I thought, cool. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't bad either. It wasn't crazy money like some of the plum ones and stuff like that. And I got one. So there is no better AK mag than this, guys. None, period. Don't get me wrong. Steel mags, great, awesome, reliable. Those are some of the best you can get, any of them. But when it comes to polymer mags and just overall reliability and everything, you can't go wrong with Circle 10 Waffle mags. These things are the best, period. Now you're going to pay retail right now is about $45 is the cheapest you're going to find them anywhere. So if you find them at 45 or less, just buy them. They're a great deal in any color. What else did we get? We showed you this last time, but I think last time they were $49, $39. That was a steal for CMMG lower parts kit. And I think I showed you guys these before, but I'll show you again because I like them so much, and I still haven't done the video because I lost the video on my SD card, so I couldn't bring it to you. But for our CZ Scorpion, these are hand painted. I also have them, but they're still in the box for, I've got AK mags painted like this, and I've also got some ARs. And these were done by a gentleman who does them for Palmetto State. See, that says Palmetto there? But look at the brown spots. Even like those are on purpose. I mean, it looks so much like the real banana, and the light green at the top and at the bottom. It's just a great looking mag. And brown spots. Here's the side without the sticker. And that's actually a sticker. And when they ship them to you, they give you a big sticker too, just like this. So put that on our ammo boxes. I do like this. I didn't notice this at first. It's got a rubber pad at the bottom here. So when you drop it, it gives you a little cush. But these were made for Palmetto State's 9mm AK. So it'll work in there, but they work perfectly in the Scorpions. But to be fair, these are the Palmetto mags. These are not the Magpuls. And they work great, though, in the Scorpion. They run perfectly. I've used them. So awesome. Another thing we've been experimenting with. If you guys watched, not the last video, but the one before it, I don't know if that was the 1911 video, one of them. Anyways, I made a comment in it that I'm getting too old to be humping my ass back and forth between the 100-yard or 200-yard range to go down and see shots. And yes, I have a spotting scope, but it's a crappy one. And they shake so much and you can't see and this and that. So we will be bringing you a video on this. It's called the Bullseye Camera System by SME. And I'll show it to you real quick. If you guys haven't seen something like this or tried it, there's a bunch of different brands out there, a bunch of different makers. And some are crazy money, and this thing is really cheap. So here's the whole unit. It's enclosed. That's it. That's everything there is. There's the camera. And basically what it does is there is a Wi-Fi, I don't know if you call it a hotspot. It's not connected to the internet, but it's a Wi-Fi receiver. And it goes line of sight back to your phone. So whatever the camera's seeing, your phone sees. And it's good. This one is good up to 300 yards. That's why it's cheap. The other ones are go up in money, but it's super simple to set up. It's rechargeable. You plug it in the wall, it recharges. You've got legs down here. You flip the legs up. Let's see, like that. And it sits like this. These legs will extend more. I can pull them out to make it higher, but you want to have it like 15 feet back from the target. And I offset it a little bit to the side because, God forbid, you're sighting in a rifle and you shoot the thing. You just wasted a bunch of money, right? So real simple. You open this lever here. It's like a tension lever. And I'm going to try to move here so you guys can see. So you open this lever and you lift the top, and this is your Wi-Fi receiver. Let me lock it in and I'll show you the other side. So you lock the lever back in. Now it's locked up. And this would be sitting on the ground. And there is your Wi-Fi strength when it's on. Let's see. I can turn it on here. Let's see. There we go. And there you can see it's lighting up. It might be dead. I had it on for quite a while. The time, how long will it stay running on a charge? I had it running at least 4 hours at the range, at least, and it was still going. I wasn't even using it anymore, and it was still running. So it connects to your phone. There's an app. The only thing I will say about it is the app sucks. It's a pain in the ass. There's some glitches to it. Not everything works. Hopefully they're upgrading it. Some of it may be me not understanding it, because there's a few things I thought were wrong or were not working that once I figured them out, I went, oh, that's how it works. So the camera is kind of cool because, you don't have to sit there and get it exactly perfect on the target. You can, when you turn this, you can see it goes up and down. So not only does it go side to side, but as you spin it, the camera's kind of doing this, okay? It's going down, up, sideways, that's how it spins. So you can get it perfectly where you want it. See how it spins? So it's angled, straight, down. It's got a sunshade on it. It also, there's a switch here, you turn it on, and LEDs. So if the light's fading or you're shooting at night, it lights up your target for you. And I tested it, and that, believe it or not, those little LEDs, 15 feet away, it lights up the target magnificently. Really, really a nice unit. And for the money, it's hard to beat. And it worked out great. I was able, once I got used to it, I was able to use it and use it well. The cool thing is the app is so in depth that you can put, once you focus it on you don't have to focus it. Once you get it set to where the target is, it self-focuses. But you punch in how big the target is in inches or centimeters. You put it on the bullseye. You tell it how far you're shooting from. You tell it what minute of angle every click on your scope or red dot is. So if it's half an MOA for every click or quarter MOA for every click, you punch that in, and then you shoot. It records like a 3 or 5 shot group. And the cool thing is it takes a picture at each shot. So the computer in it, or the app, compares the photos, and when it sees a difference between the photos, meaning a hole in the target, it takes you right to that hole. So you're not looking on the screen, well, where's my shot? Where's my shot? It shows you where it went. So you're not, having to zoom in and look. And then when you touch those shots, those 3 shots, say you touch the first one, it'll say 4 clicks left, 3 clicks up. Touch the next one, 6 clicks up, 3 clicks left. So it literally tells you the clicks you need to adjust your scope. I didn't try it that in depth. I kind of half-assed it because I was in a hurry. I knew the gun was already on. I just wanted to see my shots. That's all. And you can do that too. And it can record video. It can do all of that stuff. Orient Fixer, rumor is Bobo Biden is going to outlaw OD Green. Shit. Yeah. He probably has an idea of what I paid for that sucker. So that's why he's saying it. But that's funny. That's hilarious, dude. Anyhow, that camera's really cool. So it seems like we got a lot of stuff, right? But it's been quite a few weeks, guys, since I been on here. So we got a ton of stuff to do videos on for you. Let's check back into the chat here, because normally I would have checked back in 100 times, but we haven't. I got so much to show you. Let's see. Biden is evil. God help us. I agree, man. Who could have? Well, I knew how bad it was going to be, because he's just a puppet, right? He's there telling them what to do, and He's doing it. Back in the day, he was nowhere near like he is right now. I can't even believe how he talks and the things he forgets that this is our president. I mean, it's crazy. Crazy. I mean, what must other people think? What must other people in the government think? What are they saying behind the scenes, you know? Let's see. I have a Zastava M85, shoots 5.56. It takes air, 15 mags. It's a sweet pistol. Yeah, those are awesome. They have a plastic magwell adapter, don't they, on those, I think? I've never been interested in one, really. The one 5.56 AK I have is the SAM, and that's probably going to be the only one. I like that. I like the SAM. It's cool. It takes, it's got mags. It's just probably, it's not something adapted, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Joe Morgan, I gave up on big box. There are band scalpers. I have a route. Yeah, there are scalpers. Dunham Sports, man, there's old dudes that hang out there. You walk in, there's 6 of them, and they're waiting like jackals for the ammo. It's kind of sickening, actually. The one time they let me in, though, I just happened to show up when they were there. And I'm like, what are all these guys standing around? And then I kind of figured it out, and they're looking at me, and I'm looking at them, and they're like, hey, so what are you looking for today? I'm like, honestly, anything. So when they threw the boxes of ammo out there, the people that work there just throw the brown cardboard boxes out and let us open them, and everybody's just pouring through them, and chucking ammo to friends. And I grab a whole case of 9, and he's like, you gonna use all of that? I'm like, well, if I can. Do you guys need any? He's like, no, we got these, take the whole case. I mean, this was way back at the beginning. It was crazy. 45 boxes and boxes, just as much as you wanted, and it all went between us 5 guys. It was kind of cool. And then afterwards, I'm like, God, that was kind of I guess that's how it would be in the when the stuff hits the fan. But yeah, I'm sure those guys were going online and scalping it. I wasn't. I use it. Matter of fact, it's stuff I'm shooting right now. But they're the only ones I've seen the scalpers doing that. And I'm sure they've went to a box limit now, I hope. Let's see. Enjoying my Taurus G3. Seems to be a common problem with Micro 9s. Yeah, you've heard of the problems with it. Yeah, I'm so disappointed in it. You would think Kimber, I mean, I don't know. My SIG 1911s run better than my Kimber does. I've got a regular 1911 Kimber, and it's nice, but I'm not enthralled with it. SR22 is nice gun, Joe. I'm glad you got that. It'll run just about anything. I ordered the +5 for the SR22. Base plate's cool. That's what my little H&R 922. Let's see. Chase Kelly. I have an M&P Compact 22 and love it. Shoots everything and so much fun. Super reliable. So Chase, you got that M&P 22. You've tried all different ammos. It's run everything through it, no problem. I'd like to hear on that, because I really don't own any Smith & Wesson autos. I'm just not a Shield guy. I'm not a M&P guy. I do have a Bodyguard 380 I love, and that thing works always. But yeah, that's it. That'd be a good way to go, maybe an M&P 22 also. I'm getting rid of the Glock. I was disappointed too. The polymer slide, it doesn't feel, it feels too light. It feels like a toy. The trigger clicks like a toy. I don't know. I don't like it. I love the Steelcase 223. I've been shooting at my stash. Yeah, don't be afraid to shoot it. Keep the M193 and the green tips for when you need it. Just decided I wanted NATO ammo to give an excuse to shoot. Yeah. Brastard's in the house. What's up? Yeah, Biden says he's banning parts kits tonight. Well, good for him. He ain't banning nothing. We will not comply. Ban all you want. I have a Gen 1, a Gen 2, 40 round PMags, and a Men 2. Gen 1 of the Gen 2. Better through all my fighting. Oh, okay. OD is life. Yes, it is, Gaddywack. Gotta love OD. I got nothing else other than OD. I mean, it's half my wardrobe, for Christ's sake. More than half. I'm a fan of OD and Coyote shit brown, but I'm really fond of the black rifle, at least on the one I own. Yeah. That scope and setup pretty cool, Rock. Yeah, it is. It's kind of neat. Is that it? Here comes some more. Let's see. Orion. That seems to be a common. Well, now it's shot back up. I hate this chat. It's hard to see. That looks like all the chat in there. Man, are you guys still here or just stop? Or am I boring you with all this? So that's about all the stuff we've, kind of put away to do videos on and everything. What have we been doing shooting wise? Well, I've been doing a lot of shooting with the Sam 7 side folder. And that thing's been running really, really well. Can't complain at all. And been trying different ammos through it. And I've kept it just iron sights. And it seems really accurate. I had to adjust a little bit on the front sight left to right, but not much. And the thing's just on and so easy to shoot. Nice trigger, everything. I'm liking it. I was going to put an optic on it. I still might, but God, it seems just such a good shooter that I should just leave it alone. But we'll have some range footage of that coming out and a few other things. What have you guys been shooting? Have you been shooting? Have you been running ammo, or you stockpiling it? What are you doing? Are you guys there? Somebody say hello. I don't see the chat running anymore. I'm wondering if I'm all by my lonesome here. Everybody here? Everybody here? Anybody here? Hello? Is anybody here? So, what else did Mr. President have to say? He banned parts kits, huh? Like AK parts kits? Not good. Not good. Well, all that did was create a whole new market, right? Can't tell when you built them. 16 in the chat room now. Good. It just had gone dead there. How's the Sam 5 been? Mine is a laser. Buying CZ pistol lately as well. Man, I was never much on CZ pistols. Not that I had an opinion one way or another. Just hadn't really looked at them other than the Scorpion, of course. And a guy pulled out at the shop. Again, I don't even know the models, but it's their like race gun. You can get it. I guess the single action only comes in, I think, maybe the blue grip, that blue anodized grip. And the double single comes in the orange grip, or vice versa. Gaddywick, maybe you could tell us which one's what and what model that is. But I mean, the thing's a honking gun. It's all steel, 9mm, and it's just pretty. And it's really nice, really tight, just exudes quality. And I thought, he says, what about one of these? And I picked it up. He had the orange one. And I said, well, what do these things run? He's like, $2,000. Now, I know this shop and how they mark up. This is a shop I talked about that's got the walls loaded with black rifles and AKs and any gun, HKs, MP5s, anything you want, they have. Right, even right now they have. Shadow 2, yeah, probably. And they're known for marking their stuff up because they have it, And if you want something and you want it now, that's where you go. If you can wait and find it online, you get it online. But for instance, that brace I showed you earlier, that was their pricing. And you can get it easily for $250, But if you want it now and it's there and you want to see it, touch it, feel it, they got it. I did get my ZPAP from them, and it was reasonable compared to everything online, and they were hard to get. And by the time you dick around with transfers and everything, it was good. But Gaddywack says, you're talking about the Shadow 2. I have all steel SPO1 TAC and just got a PO1 Omega. What's the difference between the TAC, the Omega, all of that? So the Shadow 2, it's their race gun, right? It kind of looked like it, at least. That's how he explained it. But $2,000, I'm like, and I didn't know what they went for. I thought, wow, that's a lot of pistol, or a lot of money for a pistol. And then I saw one at Farm and Fleet, and I think it was $1,300 or $1,200. And I'm like, holy Christ, these guys are marking the thing up like 800 or at least 700 over list. I'm like, my God. I'm like, that kind of opened my eyes with them. You know, the other stuff, the AKs and stuff, they know I know what I'm talking about. But it's run by a bunch of young guys, and all they do is babble the whole time they're there between each other, all kinds of banter. And you'll walk in and they've got the joke of the day, kind of. You hear them saying some phrase or something. And what that phrase is some phrase a customer had said earlier in the day or the day before, and they're making fun of it. So they're like, and well, into their credit, I guess the one phrase they were muttering the one day was kind of funny. But my point being is they make fun of their customers there and in front of other customers. And that's not a good thing. First of all, why are you belittling someone? Second of all, we need all the people we can get in this hobby. Why would you want to drive them away or make yourself seem like that? I mean, if other customers understood the joke maybe and thought, geez, you know, if they're making fun of this guy, what do they say about me when I leave, you know? So the one day the guy saying something, he knew I was into AKs, so they were talking between themselves, but loud enough for me to hear. It was for my edification. The guy says, hey, are you still selling that Mahdi? Yeah, boy, that's a beautiful Mahdi. I don't know why you'd sell it. Somebody's going to snap that up in a minute. How much you asking again? And he says, the one guy didn't get it at first. He's like, oh, I think like I'll get like 1,300. He's like, oh, I thought, no, you meant you were going to sell it for 2,300, weren't you? Like I might go, oh, a Mahdi, yeah. What do you want for it? Oh, yeah, 2,300. You know, what do you think? We're a bunch of idiots. I mean, it kind of turned me off to the place, but unfortunately, they've got so much stuff and cool stuff. And it's fun to walk in there. It's just buyer beware kind of thing. You gotta know what you're doing, and it's almost like you don't want to give your money to them because they're like that. But tactical dildo gun shop guys, you know, and that sucks. I don't know why they do that. I mean, they don't do it to me, but who knows when I walk out the door? I don't know. But anyhow, they had one there, $2,000. Imagine if I had one of them days where I thought, oh, it's just cool. And on a whim, I went, yeah, I'll take it, you know, and then you find out $1,200. There was a guy there one day trying to return a Chinese Tokarov. And I had seen they had a few. They must have got them from Century or whoever was importing them. Maybe Sweaty Ben was importing them. And they had a few of them. And they had been marked in the case at one point at 2 something or almost 300. And then the other day I saw them at 4 or 5. Anyways, the guy was in there wanting to return the one he had bought the day before. And the guy obviously knew nothing about guns, how they talked him into this or why he wanted that, maybe because it was cheap. And it sounded like he had went home, talked to some friends or somebody that knew something, and they talked him out of it. What do you want that Chinese junk for? Well, if he had been into him, he'd know that, hey, that's a pretty cool gun and probably wasn't a bad price. But he said, you know, the most I'd be able to give you in trade for it is $150. I almost ran outside and offered him 200 or 250, but you don't want to make enemies either, but I guess who cares with these guys? Anyways, that's a long way to go after talking about a CZ pistol. But yeah, those CZs, man, it seemed really nice, but I need another 9mm auto pistol. Like I need a hole in my head. I mean, how many are you going to have and which ones do you keep? I don't get rid of stuff. So it's like, do I need another one? But it is kind of cool. I don't know. How many guys, hey, just a quick poll here. Just put a number in the chat. How many it doesn't matter type, model, make, if they're all the same manufacturer, whatever. How many 9mm auto pistols do you guys own? Total. Put a number down there. I'm just curious. Because I thought, it's like, how many 45s do you need? How many, I don't know. I was never much of a 9 guy or a pistol guy. So to me, to have even the amount of 9s I have now is kind of stupid. But I mean, do you have 8, 9, 10 of them? I mean, where does it stop? I got a 2-inch barrel, a 5-inch barrel. I've got my Super Raccoon 9mm, and I need my weasel. I need my weasel gun 9mm. We go out for them weasels. 3, no, just 9mm handguns. That's all. How many? How many you need? No big one, none. I'll bet no one Big Bear. I know what he's got. Just type the caliber, Big Bear. I know what you're gonna put. I'm just guessing here. Scott Steele 8. So let's think about this. If I had 8 9s. Here's what I'd have. Well, I'd have a Glock 17 for sure. That's my favorite, I guess. You'd have a 19, right? You'd have a P365 XL. What else would you have? Maybe like a Shield or an M&P. What's the one I have? Crap, I can't even remember what the hell it is. I don't know. What do you have after that? Oh, I've got my Micro 9 F357. I knew you were going to say that or 45, one of the two. But man, how many do you have and for what? Liberty and Justice. Unfortunately, only one. That's okay. That's all you need is that one that works, always works, and is the perfect sidearm. And that's going to be a Glock 17 in my book. If I were to have one gun, forget concealed carry. Just actually, no. I forgot my favorite, my new favorite, my SIG M17. God, I love that pistol. I don't know if I put a video out on it with me shooting it. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. Holy Christ, I'm just pounding steel with that thing. 23 rounds as fast as it goes. And just all on target. The gun don't move. It's awesome. Thing runs anything, always runs. Easy to run. Just aims itself. It's a laser. The civilian version, the 320, P320. It just, man, what a gun. What a gun. I love that thing. And say what you want about it. Oh, they've had problems. Oh, they shoot themselves. What was it? The Army had the SIGs doing the big investigation. I don't believe it. The one thing that happens always when guns magically go off by themselves or hurt somebody is, I didn't touch the trigger. It went off by itself. I dropped it. It went off. I think if you checked any recalls you heard about, yes, there's been maybe one or two, but they've all been, pretty much brought back to user error every single time. The Berettas, the old service pistols were awesome. Great gun too. I should have one of those just because, but cool gun. G2C went to family member. Brass Star 762. 2 9x19s and 1 9x23 and 1 9x17. So let's see. The 9x19 is a Luger. No 9x18? You don't have a 9x18? Is that what you meant? 9x18. You guys know what that is, right? Makarov. Makarov. Love my Makarovs. Got to do some more shooting with those too. But ammo is scarce on those right now for me. 9mm Largo. Do you mean to say Luger? And auto correct came in. What is 9x23? What is that round? Is it just 9x23? And what guns shoot it? And 9x17? What is that? That's smaller than a Makarov. So what is that? Neighbor wants to sell me a high point 9mm Luger for $200, but I'll tell you what. Make fun of the high points all you want. I have been so tempted just to grab one, any caliber. I don't care. The 45 is hilarious. That damn thing is so big. The slide is just monstrous. Just this chunk of metal, and I can only imagine just as it fires, the nosedive on that thing's got to be like, whoa, hey, boom, oh, whoa, hey. That's just how it seems. But they are, if you've watched the, what's the guy, Demolition Ranch, he tried to kill it. I think he finally killed it, but they just run and run and run. And sometimes guns like that are just fun to have around for your buddies to, just plow away, bam, 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 or the kids, whatever, and just laugh at it, run it, shoot it, and marvel at how it keeps running no matter how crude and whatever. It's kind of like the AK of pistols, isn't it, in a way? Except the AK is much more elegant. But, yeah, it's kind of cool. And they're still coming along with new stuff they're coming out with. And their carbine, their 9mm carbine, that's a fabulous gun. Dirt cheap. When they first came out, I wonder if they still do this. The bolt, the charging handle that sticks out of the bolt that you rack back on their carbine was literally made out of a bolt with like a nut on it. But I think they still do that. It's hilarious. They're the most simple, crude, inexpensive weapons that you just can't kill, always run, and that carbine is exceptionally accurate. That is a great little carbine for the money. Tons of aftermarket support. I should do a video on one of those. Maybe we'll try and grab one of those. But high points have this stigma, and it's well deserved, but still kind of cool. Let's see. Too old for a 454 Casull. Yeah, right. 9mm Largo. I've had 4 different Makarovs over the years. What have you had, Joe? I have an East German and a Bulgarian. My dad got an East German, him and his partner. If you guys have heard me tell the AK story on the Norinco, same partner on the police force. They would, while they were out on the job or on break or whatever in the squad car, they would stop at gun shops. And if they found something they liked, they'd both buy one. So they both buy these East German Makarovs. This is probably in the 80s, right? When they came in, or 90s, whatever. And for years, he touted this thing. You wouldn't believe what it'll do. We were shooting 55-gallon drums. Well, where he patrolled, there were 55-gallon garbage cans all over. So I'm sure they were shooting in their somewhere on their patrol route. But yeah, he said it would go through the 55-gallon drum and out the other side. And they had to put a deer had been hit by a car. He claims they put a buck down with that thing with a shot to the head. He just loved it. Said, "Oh, you wouldn't believe how powerful." And everybody kind of puts down the power of the Makarov. But if you get some of the old surplus Russian Makarov ammo, that stuff's that's packing some heat. That stuff is definitely loaded to the max for that thing. Some of the ammo you get, like Privy Partisan or some of the other ones, whoever loads up for it, is nowhere near what that Russian ammo is. And they can generate some serious power. Normally it falls between a 9mm Luger and a 380. But the East German ones that came out were glass. I mean, these things were finely fitted, great craftsmanship, beautiful bluing, just a gorgeous, gorgeous gun. So he had one forever, carried it as a backup. So his started to develop some holster wear and stuff. And he was out of state, down where he winters, and had went down without a pistol and wanted one. So he was looking at all these stores for a Makarov, and he found a Bulgarian. He bought a Bulgarian, and he was all proud of it and happy. And I still hadn't gotten into the Makarov game. So I started researching his, and I told him, hey, if you find another Makarov, anything, let me know, and maybe you can grab it for me and I'll pay you whatever, So he was going to get me one as a gift. Anyways, I'm researching the Bulgarian one he bought, and I find that they came in with the other grips, and they came with Bakelite and yada, yada. So his Bulgarian was mint. So I found a set of Bulgarian Bakelite grips, sent them to him. He thought they were really cool, put them on. In the interim, he calls me. He says, you ain't going to believe what I found. Same shop, next day. He goes, they've got an East German Makarov. I've already got one. Do you want it? He said, I'll make it your birthday gift. I said, well, send me a picture. Sent it to me. Still in the packing grease. Thing had not been fired, not even been racked. The thing was immaculate, perfect, gorgeous. Came with the black rubber grips that they were imported with. But other than that, it was original. Numbers matching mags, 2 of them in the box, whole 9 yards. And it was $269 or $289, something like that. And sold. So I couldn't wait till he got back from his winter vacation. And I already had some black Bakelite grips waiting for it. And yeah, the gun's beautiful. I got a video on it. I'll do another one. Actually, it's time we touch base back on the Makarovs. And then in the interim, a place called, on YouTube, there's a place called the Mosin Crate, Mosin, just Mosin Crate, like a crate of Mosins. And he's an FFL, and he shows whatever he gets batches of in. He'll show like 6, 8, 10, 15, and they're all numbered. Whatever he gets in. And in this case, they were Bulgarian Makarovs. And you get to pick, let's say you pick your top order. He tells you when he's opening up his website, essentially, for people to send a text in to say they'll take number whatever at 10 a.m. the next morning. So I forget how he does it, actually. I think it's just you got a text or whatever. So 10 the next morning, boom, I want this one, and I got it. And or maybe you call in, leave your name, and the order the calls came in is the order. You give 3 choices, and depending on where you came in call-wise, he'll give you either your first choice, second, or third. Or you may be late calling and you get none of them. They're sold out. Well, I got the Bulgarian one, and they were like $200, and I got the grips for it and everything, and the gun's just beautiful too. Unfired, unissued, mint, both of them. And I will say the East German, when you look at them side by side, hold them, rack them, everything, the East German is a smoother gun. But the Bulgarian is so, so close. I don't have a Chinese or a Russian. I'd like to have one of each. But if you haven't shot a Makarov or even inspected one close up, a nice one, they're so simple. They're blowback design. They field strip so easy. Nice little round, better than carrying a 380. And back in the late 80s, early 90s, there were a ton of people carrying Makarovs as their concealed carry, their everyday carry. And there's a lot of places make holsters for them, including crossbreed. I don't carry mine concealed because I don't want to wear the guns. And let's face it, you get holster wear. But I may, if I found one that was a little rougher, duplicate to one of mine, I would definitely like to carry it. They're safe as all get out. They do have a safety, a thumb safety, but the trigger pull on double action is so heavy that they're just safe, period. But once you're past that first round, the single action on them is really pretty nice. And the more you shoot them, maybe give it a little polish, you can get that trigger pull down there. I think in my video I did the trigger pull. I think the double action maxed out my gauge. like I probably unaccurized my trigger pull gauge by using it. But look at these tangents we go off on, right? Somebody mentions Makarov and high point, and here I go. So Joe's had 4 over the years. 9x23 is 9 Largo. Never heard of it. Who makes guns in it? 9x23 plus 9 Largo. High points all run. I've had a used one in every model, and you cannot kill the ugly. Yeah, they are ugly, boy. It's just that slide and the top of the gun, it's so top heavy, right? It just looks crazy. Carbine still has the bolt for the charging handle. Yeah, it's cool. Largo is for Astra and Star. Oh, Star pistols. Yeah, those. I wouldn't mind having one of those because that was a military pistol, actually, and I like military pistols. I had a PA-63 and PA-64. Now, you're talking the Polish ones, right? And those are not really true Makarovs, are they? I didn't think they were. I mean, they're close. And a lot of people call them Makarovs, but they're not really true Makarovs if they're the Polish ones I'm thinking of. P64 I carried. I had a PM and another one I think was single stack. Yeah, they're all singles. The true Makarovs were single stacks. There are a couple double stack or a rare double stack Makarov. The AK guy does some good videos on Makarovs if you guys check it out. He's obviously got a great channel. I find him funny as hell. I hated him when he first came out. I really did. I don't know why. I just had something irked me, but getting to know him and watching his videos and how he's progressed, I'm proud of him, how well he's done. And he does do some cool stuff, and I give it to him. I mean, he's a young guy. Young guys would take advantage of it because you can risk things. You can jump into a business, and if it goes belly up and you don't have the wife and kids and whatever, you got time to recoup. When you get to be my age, you can't make any of those mistakes. 9x17 is 380. Duh. I knew that. I'm an idiot. I never consider that a 9, though. Let's see. Carry P64, CZ52. I think also had a Norinco TT clone. Oh, you mean a Norinco Tokarov? Yeah, I've got a couple Tokarovs too, Romanian ones. Cool gun. I consider it like the Euro 1911. How's that sound? I love that round. It's so damn fast. When you're plinking pistols, it's like, normally it's like boom, ting, boom, ting. And this thing's like boom, ting. It's just so fast. It's like, holy Christ. Think about a personal defense weapon in Tokarov, which is what, by 25, something by 25, I forget. Is it 7? No. But I love that round. It's so damn fast. Let's see. Brass Tard. I love those Syrian Iraqi high powers Mosin Crate had before. Yeah. So you know the Mosin Crate. He gets some really neat, different stuff, doesn't he? Just finds these small batches or whatever. Just cool stuff. Cool stuff. I like watching him. I haven't seen much from him lately. I wonder if YouTube unsubscribed me or something. But I like him. Wasn't the 9x23 what they used to call 38 Super? Maybe, my son's got a 38 Super 1911 Colt, high polished stainless, beautiful gun. I reload for him. And that's such a nice round in that gun. So little recoil. I think he was kind of disappointed when he got it. It was a gift from his grandfather, and he really wanted a 45, and he got him that. He was kind of disappointed, but being as it came from his grandfather and all, he was really grateful and loves it and would never think of getting rid of it, because it came from his grandfather. If it was anyone else, he would have gotten rid of it, got a 45, but his grandpa got it for him, so he's keeping it. And I'll get him the 45. I had a Polish one, Hungarian, yeah, a lot of different ones out there, man. I think that's 9x21 Orion. What was that one? Oh, a 38 Super. Not sure. Reload. I reload 380 with 115 grain 9mm. You know what? I run across the brass, a brand new Winchester brass, and I run across the dies and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, who in the hell reloads 380? I get to get brass card back a little bit here. Who in their right mind reloads something so cheap? Can you even reload it? Can you hold those tiny little shells and get them in there? Can you, what's the point? It was always so cheap. And now I get why, brass card, because now, the one thing you always saw were the Remington, the buckets, the 380 buckets. I got me a 380 bucket for the range, and I always thought, who, with ammo being so cheap and so plentiful and everywhere, who in the hell would reload that stuff? And all 380 does for me is piss me off when it gets mixed in with my other brass when I'm picking it up at the range. But so tell me why you do. I mean, now I get it, because it's hard to find right now. But is there a big advantage? Do you load something different, hotter? What was the reason to originally start reloading it? Because there's a lot of rounds that up until real recently, people says, that's a round you don't need to reload. You can't reload it cheaper than you can buy it. And I used to think that with 9mm. I never reloaded 9 because it was so cheap. I was buying, even this time last year, I was still getting cases of 9 for $168, $178. Seller and below, or Beloit, or whatever. 115 grain, 124 grain cases of it, brass, $178, 1,000 rounds. And I got, who can beat that? And steel case back then was dirt cheap. And now I'm reloading it, obviously. I mean, and the same with 7.62 never reloaded, because they're why. And even 5.56, why reload it? You couldn't reload it cheap enough. But I've kind of always done 2.23 though. Why not? I guess even with the price, because I can get more accurate and everything. But still, 380, I'm thinking, why? Why would I do that? Tell me why. I want to know. Thanks for the chat, sir. I have a good night. Got to get kids to bed. You too. Thanks for sharing. We appreciate your information. You had a lot of good stuff, man. My Astra 400 is marked for 9mm Largo and 38 auto. Huh, cool. 38 auto, at one point, I think I thought was the same as 38 Super. And it might be 38 auto, 38 super might be the same, but if something tells me they're different. At one point I knew when I was really getting into my ground and reloading that stuff. I have started saving brass local shop reloads for personal guns, so I send it to them for all brass I use. 9x21 is that Israeli round made for countries that ban 9x19 like Italy. I wonder why they ban it. Huh. So Breastheart, why do you reload 380? Is it just because you can find the brass free at the range and it's cheap, or do you reload it because you do a special round that's hot, that's fast, that's whatever? I'd really be interested. Because I carry a 380 an awful lot. It just seems when I don't want to strap on some big honking gun or holster or whatever. I throw that in my pocket and go. It's so it's a great round, and I should know more about it, actually. That's what I should. Anyhow, so one more thing we picked up. All right. Now, any of you that have been watching, some countries ban all military rounds. Yeah. You know what's funny? I was on a cruise in the Caribbean, and I can't remember what island it was, but my luggage is essentially some of it's made up of military and backpacks and stuff like that, but I was carrying this one that was an army backpack, essentially had my name tape on there and everything. And I think I had a pair of not military, cargo shorts on in a camo pattern. And we're lining up to get off the ship. And we're going off the ship. And we get to the bottom on the pier, and they stop me. And my wife's freaking out kind of because of the way they stopped me. Sir, yeah, you need to go back on the ship right now. First of all, you need to change. Second of all, that bag cannot come on this island. Camouflage was outlawed. Camouflage was outlawed on the island. So I couldn't even have the backpack, and I could not have my shorts, which were not military issue. They were just whatever, Walmart cargo shorts in camo. Camo was outlawed on the island. They are so afraid of government coups and takeovers and this and that they outlaw that stuff. So I guess maybe there's no mistaking who's a soldier, who's not, who's a mercenary about to take over their country. I don't know. It was funny when you pulled in the port, they had literally like 2 ships at this pier, and they come over to loudspeaker and they say, there's such and such country's naval force right there. And that was their entire Navy. And I thought to myself, my Sea Ray and a good loadout, and I can sink your Navy. It was hilarious. And I'm like, wow, I got to go back, take my shorts off, and get another bag. It was crazy. Anyhow, so yeah, I guess I kind of knew some countries outlawed certain rounds, but that's kind of weird. I wonder if their military can have them, but just the people can't. I wonder if that's the case. Anyhow, getting back to what I got here. So if you guys have known me for any length of time on here, you know that I guess I got in the guns through trap shooting. I was a huge trap shooter. My father was a champion trap shooter. We shoot trap for money. We belong to clubs all over. We traveled the country shooting trap, and went to the Grand American every year. All of that stuff, big money trap guns and all that stuff that comes with it. Anyhow, at one point we probably, I don't know. I may be off. I'd have to ask my dad, but I bet we shot 30 to 40,000 rounds a year of shotgun shells. So we reloaded with a progressive press. I think we had 2 at one point. And we used Posness Warren. If any of you guys know the name Posness Warren, at the time, and I still think even now, they made the best presses on the market, period. They went out of business. A guy bought them out, all their parts, all their designs, all their everything. He still builds them. You can get them new. You can send yours in and have it rebuilt, which we have. After that many rounds, year after year after year, your press wears out. You need new bushings. You need new gears. You need this, that. So if you look in my videos that I do in my garage, you can see in the background behind me on the bench, machine that's covered in a red cover. And if you look at that red cover, it says Posness Warren. So that's a progressive press set up there for shotgun shells. And with 3-gun and my Vepr 12 and my VR 80 shotgun, those, we like to run birdshot through them for 3-gun, as light as we can while still allowing the guns to run. And we run large volumes of them. So, it's hard to find a round that's just right and have a consistent supply of it. So I thought, well, I'm going to reload for these things and develop a round of number 7.5, number 8 shot. I'd like to I'd like to be able to go to 2 3/4 dram, maybe 2.5 dram, and get it to run, develop a round that'll run consistently. And I can make sure it's perfect all the time and that I have this supply or can make as many as I want of these. And to set up the Posnus Warren Progressive would be a pain because then I'd have to change it for trap all the time. Plus, mine is set to crimp paper shells, and I'm going to be shooting plastic shells for the VR80 and the Vepr 12 shotgun. So I needed a press to do those. And like anybody else, we started off when we shot trap with a mech little nothing reloader, and they're dirt cheap and it used to be everywhere. Well, you haven't been able to find them now for the last 8 months, a year. So we are ready to develop a load for the Vepr and the VR80 that we can consistently make and run and make as many rounds as I want. Plus, I can mess around with some other stuff, maybe some bigger shot, maybe some defense loads for those things. But these little they're Mech 600 Juniors. If you want to make shotgun shells at home, don't want to spend a lot of money, want it to work all the time, super simple, everything, this is it. These are, I think, like $99 or something. I don't know. Dirt cheap, and they just work. So you put your powder in one, shot in the other. You crank it down. You got 5 stations, deprime and size, prime, powder drop, put the wad in, shot, crimp, pre-crimp, and crimp. And, you just slide the bar over for shot and then slide it the other way for powder. And, it takes about 6 pulls of the handle, maybe, something like that. I forget. But you're making shells, and you can get all the different dies and bars and all that, which I still have, by the way. I have all the dies and the other bars for that from my dad's machine, but the machine went bye-bye somewhere. So I've got that. So we're going to develop a round for that, and we'll bring you guys along for that ride. I get a ton of people on my channel on that VR80 shotgun videos. I mean, that shotgun has generated more fans and more subscriptions than the AKs have. People love that thing, and it's a Turkish-made AR-15 style shotgun that you would normally think, well, it's just another half-ass Turkish shotgun, but it's the most reliable one out there on the market, debatably, and it's gained a ton of attention. The aftermarket has become big on it. Ton of people shooting it on 3-gun. There's shops customizing them and making a full living just customizing VR80s. So if you haven't seen one, check them out. I saw one the other day on the shelf. They've been super hard to get, and I saw them for $5.99. I think they list it like $6.99, somewhere in there. They come with a 5-round mag. You can get the 9s, 10s, and 19 round. And if you do the followers right, you can get 20 rounds in them. They make drums for them. They make handguards, brakes, triggers, safeties, everything possible they make for them. And they're a great gun. And it actually ran way better than my Vepr 12 did out of the box. My Vepr 12 had a lot of issues and a lot of stuff I had to do to get it running light loads correctly. And if you haven't shot a AK style shotgun like the Vepr or an AR-15 style shotgun, similar to like the VR80 or one of those, you haven't lived yet, because It is so much fun. Something about just 20 rounds of 12 gauge on tap is just puts a huge smile on your face. Matter of fact, tonight, or at worst case, tomorrow night, I'm going to upload a quickie video on my son shooting the VR80. We took it to the range with us. We were doing some other videos, and he shot that real quick into some puddles that had puddled up in the field or the range we were shooting on. And he just went blam, 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 and the water's flying everywhere. And he got done, and he had the biggest smile on his face you've ever seen. And he just went, woo, like he couldn't stop himself from screaming. It just made him so happy. And that's a great memory. It was hilarious. He just loved it. And it was fun to see him having that much fun. So, yeah, I'm going to develop a load for these, and we're going to have more fun. And I thought, man, it'd be cool to do some number 4s or number 5s, some super hot, like turkey rounds or something like that. And hell, maybe I can even do, I don't know if I can do slugs on this thing or buckshot or what, but we'll see what we can come up with. It'll be fun. It will be fun. Let's see what everybody's saying here. I have started saving brass. Yeah, I save all kinds of brass too, even stuff I don't shoot, but I clean it with the rest of it. I separate it, I bag it, and I keep a running total of how many rounds are in these bags. And I figure one day I'll either be able to trade for brass I need, or somebody else will want it or need it or whatever. I mean, it's free. You already picked it up. It already got cleaned in with your other stuff. Why not, right? Maybe you can get something you need for free. Let's see. Brass tard. I'll reload anything. Started with 223, and now I'm doing 11 by 59 grass. Wow, you do so much stuff. It's not just about cheap. It's for things like putting 308 tracers on 762 by 39. That's neat. I came across some videos about tracer rounds and guys on YouTube actually telling you how to make them. I didn't look at them. I wasn't interested at the time, but that might be kind of neat. Paranoia, the Destroyer, Oregon. Paranoia, you mean about, I get the song, but you mean about those countries down there. One reason they give for a ban on military rounds is so war leftovers and guns stolen from government won't have easy ammo. Okay. Yep, few places ban camo clothes. It's crazy. Yeah, it was nuts. I couldn't believe that they would do something like that or were that worried about it. Just weird. Caribbean's an interesting place. I was on Rotan, which is an island off of, oh crap, what country is it? Can't remember what the main country is, but it's an island off the mainland of this country. It's called Rotan. And they have zero crime. And when I asked about it, I asked, well, how can they have zero crime? And the guy told me, simple. We're an island. If a murder happens, a car theft happens, a battery, whatever, there's no way off the island. They shut the island down. Essentially, there's a ferry, and I guess you could leave by boat, but other than that, there's no way off the island. So they catch 100% of them, and there's no crime. While the mainland of this country, and the name will come to me here in a minute, has big crime problems, essentially. And it's a gorgeous island with a gorgeous reef, great fishing, all this stuff. And the guy I went out fishing with was an expatriate from the U.S., and I asked him, I said, how do you like living here? And you're a sportsman. Can you have guns and this and that? He said, well, guns aren't legal. They aren't illegal. He said, essentially, someone in the government, you pay this, and you can have all the guns you want, shoot on your property, all of this and that. And I thought, wow, that's cool. Might be a nice place to retire if I could just, to get to know the whatever. And hey, here's this, and leave me alone till they put me 6 feet under. And it kind of sounded like you could do that there, at least till the next coup or whatever, I guess, right? But it's a well-known island or well-known country. I can't think of the name. Rotan, Ruotan, I think. Routan. I can't remember the name of the mainland country. Anyhow, yeah, interesting. You can have guns down there, and they just, I guess you pay enough money and they write you a license in some office, it sounded like. I don't know. Joe Morgan, have a good night all. Got to tuck my folks in. Thank you so much for the live stream. Thank you, Joe, for everything you do and for promoting our channel like you do. Guys, keep in mind we are monetized. There are those super chats you can leave us and stuff if you want to help out. We appreciate it. I normally don't say much about them, but they are there. And hey, we had fun tonight. And hey, we didn't lose the stream once, did we? Not once. Can I have a round of applause for that? And I don't think anybody was buffering either, were they? Was anyone buffering? Tell me how it looked tonight, because okay, Joe, you got to stay for the roof story. So we got this thing. It's called Starlink, first of all, this internet we have. And Starlink is a company put together by the guy that owns Tesla, right? It's going to be the newest, latest, greatest, fastest, and all of that stuff. And they claim like NASA speeds and all of this. And we're fed up with ours because we're so far out in the boonies. We have to have satellite internet. And we've had 2-3 different companies. They all suck. They all start out good and then they go to shit. And my son says one day, well, let's try this. It's supposed to be this. So we get it. And it comes like literally tripod. You set it in the yard, run the cable in, comes with a router, boom, you're up and running. Well, the first day we get it, we're running at speeds. I got buffering twice, but it went away real quick. Good. We set it up and I got speeds like 200, 250, 180 right away. I'm like, oh man, this is friggin' awesome, right? But it's supposed to go on the roof, but it's middle of winter and everything. So that lasted a week or two, and then the speed started going to hell. And I'm like, oh, this is more bullshit. And then you guys saw what happened with my streams. They kept cutting out and this and that. And I'm like, okay, I've had enough of this. Well, spring comes, I got to get on the roof, and that'll solve all our problems. We need a clear view. They give you this app with the camera you show and whatever. So I figure it's got to be all the way up top. And we have a hip-styled roof. When I went to put this up, I go, oh, yeah. Rough. It was even with the gutters. So you would think if you can do that, no problem, right? Just scamper up the roof and do it. No. You can't climb this roof. It's so steep. I got 1 foot on the motorhome, 1 on the roof, and I'm starting to climb, but my feet are just sliding. I mean, maybe on a hot summer day, if I wore cleats and they dug in and destroyed my roof, I could climb it. But you couldn't climb it, let alone with a backpack and a 100-pound satellite dish and all this crap. So they literally send you like this backpack thing to strap the dish to your back and go up on your roof. But I took actually this tactical bag here, and I put all the tools I needed, from a stud finder to the sockets to tighten the bolts, all the stuff, all organized as I would need them for the job in there. And my wife, believe it or not, had gotten the satellite dish up there by herself. I came out in the morning. I hear this bing bang outside, and we had gotten this new ladder, one of those articulating super ladders, 26 feet. And she's got the thing up on the roof, and she's going to go up there and put it up because I wouldn't or whatever. And I look, and the ladder's backwards, and I said, you can't climb that. And she, yes, I can. Watch when I get up there. And I said, you're not getting up there. You're going to kill yourself. I'm not going to let you up there. I don't care what you say. Well, it came to screaming and yelling and name calling to keep her from going on that roof. I said, "You're going to end up dead. Just stop. And if you're pushing that hard, I'll do it. Fine, I'll do it. I'll go up and kill myself when I'm laying there. You can, I'll come to on the third day and say, I told you so, and keep on being dead." So anyhow, we have a big argument over it. My son's out there siding with me, saying, "Mom, it's impossible." I'm finally putting the ladder away. I said, "Just call a professional." And as I walk around the garage, I see the one side, and it's not the same degree. It's a little less. So I put the ladder over there, and I get it just above the gutter, the point where the ladder articulates, and then I hit the button, and the ladder goes ka-chunk, and it's laying on the roof now. So I got the ladder going to the gutter, and then it's angled on the roof, laying on the roof. So no problem. Now I can climb on the ladder rungs that are laying on the roof. That's safe. That's good. I can climb all that. So I get everything up there. I'm drilling holes. I'm putting the putty. I get everything in. We had checked it that we're getting good signal beforehand. Everything's good. I get done. I come down. My wife comes out to look, and she goes, "Oh, what the?" Well, she said much harsher terms, but what the hell is that? I said, "It's your dish. I got it. It's all done. Yay me." And well, why is it's lower? You're not below on the peak. I'm like, I'm 6 inches below because I didn't have a whole shingle to work with, and it may have leaked if I didn't have the mount on one shingle. So it couldn't be. Well, they did it like that. I said, but if you look over there, there's a whole shingle. I said, I couldn't be. That's all fucked up, and that's it. I'm done. And so all that effort, and I get yelled at anyways, and we come inside, and it's working. But I don't get that 150, 200, even higher that we saw. I get in the 40s or 50s. Of course, they give you the good stuff when you first get it, and then they back it down, I'm sure. But it's in beta testing still. It's gotten much better over the few months we've had it. Hopefully it'll get even better. And time video, but no audio. What? Indiana time video, but no audio. You guys have no audio on this? Come on. No. Are you kidding me? Until Susan Wiki started watching as she came out of her coffin for tonight. It's a lot better tonight. Only really started buffering when you started talking about. Oh, really? Maybe that's got them. Who knows? I got buffering twice. 11:45 Indiana time video, but no audio. Okay, I guess that was just temporary. Anyways, so we got it up there. I'm getting 40 to 50 on it. I guess the speeds are fine. Some nights I get better. Some days it gets really good. I'm hoping when they've got it completely up and running that I get in that 150 range again. The good news is my upload is awesome. Like I used to put, let's say, a half-hour video for YouTube. I'd start downloading it at 9 p.m. I'd let it download all night. I'd wake up in the morning to go to work at like 6, and I'd still have like 45 minutes, an hour of download left. So all night long to upload a complete video, right? And then I'd have to call my wife and say, okay, it's done. Can you click this? And then I'd do things at work and put the video up, right? So 8 hours, 9 hours to upload a half-hour video, right? At best. And then it could conk out halfway and I lose the whole thing. Anyhow, now half-hour video might take 6 minutes. A 10-minute video, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So my upload, that's helped my life tremendously. And I got to decide if I'm going to screw principles and just upload videos, no matter if I get paid or not, or if I'm going to stick to my principles and only upload videos if I'm getting paid on them. But like I said, it ain't about the money. It's about the principle that they're making money off my effort and I'm not. That's what I have to decide. And at the end of the day, I don't do it for the money. I do it for the fun of it, my enjoyment. Hopefully, my limited knowledge I can spread to some people and help them. There's guys in here right now in this chat that have 10 times the knowledge I do. And, it's just fun to spread that wealth and to help increase our numbers. I don't know if I told you guys, I was down for a funeral in Tennessee and took my brother-in-law shooting. He had lost his son a few days before, and just tragic, young son in his 20s, and tragic. And I thought he was so excited the week before. He got a 365 XL, which I helped him find. And he was so excited wanting to shoot it. And his son was going to go shooting with us, my nephew. And I thought, I'm just going to get his mind off this. I'm going to go to the range while we're there and run his new gun, make sure it works, sight in, and all that. And as it turned out, yes, it was fun. It was exciting, but it was bittersweet with his son not being there, who had passed away unexpectedly. And it was kind of cool. It's kind of, well, this will be a tribute to him. His name was Chris, too. And but if you could see how excited he was to get this gun and to shoot it and all, it warmed my heart a little bit, that something could make a guy so happy. He's got guns. He doesn't have a lot of them. And, like most people, guns are a big purchase, so decisions like that you make between you and your wife. Do we have the money? Can I spend it? He was so happy to get this, and she was on board with it. And she actually got it for him for his birthday and surprised him. So I helped her get it off of Gun Broker, showed her how to do it and all that, because you couldn't find one. And it was so neat to see him so happy. So we go to the range, and he's shooting, but he's I'd say novice, a little above a novice. And I corrected just a couple things with his grip and his stance and the way he was sighting it and everything. And in the hour or so that we were at the range, the improvement in his shooting was nothing short of just incredible. He went from, literally a beginner novice to things really coming together. I mean, I was impressed. I'm like, wow, did I helped him shoot that well from that to that? And it was so satisfying, personally satisfying, training him, showing him how to do that I'm going to pursue my NRA instructor stuff and get back into doing that. It was a lot of fun to show somebody how to do it well, and it just felt good that I could help someone like that, and to help them have fun. So I think going forward, we're going to do that. Things are coming together where the whole package will work here pretty quick as a business, I think. We'll see, and you guys will be along for the ride. So it will be fun. So Joe went to you guys. We're down to 11. I don't know if you guys are up for it. We got a few more things I guess we could talk about, but I guess it depends if you all are getting tired or not. It is, what the hell time is it here? Oh, it's not even 11 yet. Normally I don't have this much to talk about, but we've been gone for so many weeks. How many weeks did I miss? 3, 4? It was quite a few. I know that. It felt good, though. And it didn't feel good to be away from me. I actually miss you guys and being on here. But here's the issue. I have Wednesdays off, Wednesdays to myself. So Wednesday is get out shooting, testing, sighting in, doing whatever I need to do range-wise, and also get things I need to do done around the house and the stuff my wife wants to do, and spend some time with my wife and kids, and maybe go to dinner with them and all of that stuff. And when that's all done, try and be back here in time to do the live stream. So never fails. By the time I get everything done around here, I don't get to the range till like 1 o'clock. And then by time I get set up there, get everything done, I'm racing back here to get on here. So I run in the door. Hi, honey, I'm home downstairs. Oh, and so I don't see her all day then on my one day off. So it felt good to take a few weeks there and just get done what I needed to get done here. And yeah, it was a nice break. Bring it. I'll be up for at least 5-6 hours yet. Are you working, or are you just a night owl? Me, I sleep about 2 or 3 hours a night. That's it. It's amazing. My one day off, I do sleep later, but other than that, man, I'm 3 hours max, and I'm done. But on my way back to work, there's too much. I'm missing out on too much if I sleep. Got stuff to do, videos to watch, guns to work on, all that kind of good stuff. So I don't want to go in and listen to the ex-vice president. So I guess I'll wait for tomorrow or tonight's news maybe and catch what we're going to be losing or whatever here, whatever the king wants to mandate, right? And I'm serious when I say it, guys. No compliance, none, zero. Kiss my ever-loving you-know-what. It's just the line is drawn. There is no more giving, not giving up anything else. There's no compromise. You notice they're not talking about sensible gun legislation anymore. That's went out the window. No sensible, no compromise. They're not compromising because they are in charge. When they weren't in charge of everything, there was compromise. Well, now that they control everything, they're not compromising. So and who really cares, right? Because it wasn't compromised to begin with. All they did compromising is you give a little, we give a little, and we end up in the middle. Well, it was always we gave a little, but they gave nothing, right? I didn't get anything back in this compromise. I got nothing back. They just took, little at a time, slowly. Oh, well, who cares? Yeah, fully automatic weapons are only for criminals. And who needs a suppressor? You don't need that. That's for murderers, right? And all this other crap. And they take a little, and nobody gives a rat's ass. Or they say, well, the FUD say, well, that's for those guys there. I just got my hunting rifles. And the other side doesn't care about anything they care about. And then the bump stock thing, which we all told you, anybody that knew anything, all told you how dangerous that was going to be. And thank God now that case was won, the one that Military Arms Channel was backing, actually. And kudos to them for getting involved in it. That was a big deal. And I heard there was a win, was it today or yesterday? In Illinois, my old former state, they shot down the FOID card, saying it's unconstitutional. But back years ago, when I was living there, they had done something like that, but it went nowhere. Of course, it would still work its way through the courts and this and that. So I wonder if it's for real this time, if it's gone. That was actually part of the reason I moved out. Illinois had just become unbearable. And for a while, I worked in Wisconsin and lived in Illinois. And then for a while, I spent 7 months in Wisconsin and 5 months in Illinois. And now finally to full-time in Wisconsin. So that's a huge plus. It just, while it's not as good a state as it was, it's still light years above Illinois. And the people are what make the state of Wisconsin great. There's just good people, down to earth people. Take out Madison and parts of Milwaukee, and the rest of the state is fabulous. Fabulous. It does. Here's one thing I did notice about the state, however. Milwaukee. Now you think the Democrats, always growing up in Chicago, the Democrats were the working man's party, right? We were, middle class people, and a lot of my family had city jobs, and my grandmother worked for the city, my father, my grandfather, my uncle, everybody worked for the city. So you were a Democrat, but they were considered the working people's party, right? And the rich, or so the Democrats say, the Republicans are for the rich. That's the rich man's party. Well, what's interesting, and we've all known it's different, right, and has changed dramatically of late. Up in Milwaukee, you go to the nicest, most affluent suburbs of Milwaukee. There's a couple, Whitefish Bay, Bay Shore, a couple other little neighborhoods along there. And I'm talking, the houses on the lake, on Lake Michigan, 10 million plus houses, right? $10 million. And just off the lake, they go anywhere from $500,000 to millions, It's a highline area like the North Shore of Chicago, maybe even higher end. Well, all you see when you drive through those towns are Black Lives Matter signs, Biden signs, all of the things you equate with liberals and the Democratic Party everywhere. Everywhere, not onesie twosies, everywhere. You couldn't find a Trump sign during the election in those neighborhoods if your life depended on it. So let me ask you this. These people with all the dough, right? They're living in $10 million houses with, the most extravagant cars in the driveway. You should see these homes. You should see these homes. They're castles, literally. And even, the paupers who live 2 blocks, 3 blocks off the lake in their $2 million homes or $1 million homes or whatever, all Biden, all Biden. Why is that? Why is that? You would think these people are capitalists, made their money off the capitalist system, don't like to pay taxes, saw as business people how the economy boomed under Trump. Why would they want to do this? And it's almost like this, like what they're pushing. It's like the kids go to school and get pumped full of this and come home and say, "Oh, no, Mom, we have to care about this, and we have to back this. And, oh, did you know Biden's doing this and AOC's doing that?" And they fold to the pressure. They're all in their cul-de-sacs or their PTA meetings. And, oh, we did this week. And, oh, we're going to the rally for whatever organization. And it's no longer, I give to this charity, I give to that charity. It's no, or the BMW is not the status symbol and the Mercedes is not the status symbol, but how much you give to these liberal organizations and people is the status symbol. How woke you can be, right? Craziness, absolute craziness. I wonder if they actually believe it or know how much damage they're doing. Or how indoctrinated their children are becoming. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Anyhow, enough of the political stuff. I'll stay away from that right now. Orion, I'm a retired night owl. Guns and Gadgets says only applies to that one case, but it's a start. So what do you mean that only applies to one case? So you have to have a FOID card in Illinois, and one guy sued. He just, it had to still go. First time after I talked. Way to go, Susan Wiki. Way to go. At least I know you're listening. Did I keep you up? I did. I hope you can't sleep because I'm on here. Unbelievable. First, they want to take the benefits of my hard work, my efforts, my videos, my money, my ammo, and they want to shut it down, not monetize my videos. Then when I want to talk about something they don't like, they start shutting down my stream. Isn't that amazing? We went 2 hours and 25 minutes without any of that. And then instantly that popped up when I was talking about it. Unfriggin' believable, right? Anyhow, for being called Coffee and Kalashnikovs, we talked very little about Kalashnikovs tonight. And I'm sorry for that. Next week, I promise you, will be all Kalashnikovs. But we had so much stuff to bring you and show you. Guys, tonight, whatever the president did, I'm sure it was no good. And it just goes to show you that you need to start stocking up and buying the stuff that could go away. And you say, oh, they'll be out there, or I got plenty, like PMags, for instance, 30 round PMags, $10 to $13. Guys, go spend 100, 200, 500. I don't care if you need them or not. Go buy them. So they're out there. They're in circulation. Leave them in the package. What's the worst case scenario? You can sell them when nobody can get them for 3, 4, 5 times, 10 times the price. Or, God forbid, you need them one day. Just buy them. They won't hurt you. Think of it as stacking old bars in your safe, because that's what it's the equivalent to, right? Whatever it may be, parts kits, pistol braces, AR parts, receivers, barrels, lower parts kits, whatever, anything that's on that line, things that they have focused their attention on. Those are the thing. Imports, mags. I can't say enough. Powder, ammunition, bullets, whatever, all that stuff. Whatever you can find, don't bitch about what you can't find. Whatever you can find, just stock it away. I promise you, it doesn't get any cheaper. Every bit of ammo I have, let's say cases I paid $170 for, $180 for, I can now double or triple my money on it. Right this second I can. Right this second. And most of it was only put away in the last 5 years. So stock market, you basically double your money, every 10 years, 11 years, something like that. Well, in some cases, I doubled mine in under a year, doubled it, if I wanted to sell it. I don't, but think about when it really gets hot and heavy, what it's going to be worth. You'll never lose any money at it. And there'll be a need for it. There'll be a need. Your friends, your neighbors, your countrymen, there will be a need. So make sure you are to make more. It doesn't go bad. It lasts forever, pretty much, if you store it right. Get yourself, if you're not into reloading, get the equipment. I'm not telling you to go out and spend today's crazy prices, but you can still find the $99 deal, right? And then when it's done a little bit, you can, start buying some of the components, whatever you can find, and start stockpiling it. It's interesting. It's not only a fun hobby, but it'll come in really useful. Keep in mind, you can cast your own bullets, 9mm, whatever you want out of, old lead. Where can you get lead? Well, tire weights aren't made of lead anymore, but there's still, you go to flea markets, farm auctions, anything, you'll find tons of lead out there you can buy, and it's cheap to melt it down. You get a melting pot off of Brownells or something, and you can cast it into ingots and then save it to cast into whatever bullets you want. The molds are cheap. For pistols, don't worry, you're not going to let up your barrel if you do it the right way. And it may seem complicated to you now, but to get the right mix of hardness, it's lead and a mixture of tin, right? Or antimony or whatever it's called. I don't know. But with 10 minutes of reading, you have super viable bullets that can even be self-defense rounds, right? So, get into it. Open some, use your money to help you to secure your future. Right now, you're not making crap interest rate wise. Can you make money in the market now? Yeah, you can. In my opinion, it's a little dangerous right now. I pulled out completely about 3 months ago or so. Pulled out completely, but thinking about getting back in, because where do you put your money? To me right now, the only safe thing is real estate. Yeah, but the liquid, you know what I mean? So to tie up everything is not smart. It's safe, but it's not smart if you need it. And, where else do you put it? You worry about cash sitting in a bank. Is it insured? What if the dollar tanks tomorrow and you're left with nothing but a bunch of paper? Hell, you can't get your cash anyways. You go to a bank and it's the Inquisition to get a couple $1,000s. What do you need that for? What do you want it for? What are you using it for? It used to be anything over 10,000 they'd fill out a form. Now they fill out a form if they think it's suspicious, or even way smaller amounts. It's crazy. They want to move completely away from cash. It's going away. I don't know what to say about that. It's all got me worried. Inflation is there and it's definitely jumped. People say, well, inflation's been in. No, it hasn't. Look at the size of the things you buy. Look at the size of your toilet paper roll versus what it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Look at the size of your candy bar 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's huge. The size of everything. How many ounces are in it? They design bottles today where the bottom just comes up higher. So they're not putting the bottle same size, but doesn't hold as much product. That's inflation, guys, because you're still paying the same amount for less. So they can say that there is no inflation or it's very little. They're full of it. They're full of it. They've been artificially keeping the gold and silver prices down. The Fed has. So panic is not induced. And with the amount of money they're printing, I don't even know how things have not just gone off the deep end, because look at what they've printed. Remember when they said Obama spent more than all previous presidents combined? Well, look what we spent. I'd say what Trump spent, but his wasn't normal either. His was a once in a lifetime their pandemic, right? Say what you will, but had he not gone with the flow, they would have ran him out on a rail anyways. He didn't have a choice in that. I don't think he believed what he did, but he had to do it. And then now look at what they've spent. Trillion, 2 trillion, 5 trillion, 10 trillion. They're asking for more. What's it going to do? You just keep printing this paper? And all these stocks are overvalued. You've got companies with no physical assets that are valued at a couple hundred times their worth. I don't get it. I don't get how it keeps going. I pulled out of the stock market because I fully believed that that market would tank within 3 months. And I mean tank bad, where you weren't worrying about having half. You were worried about having 10 or 20% of what you had. Now it hasn't. And I know the minute I decide to go 10 or 20% of what you had. Now it hasn't. And I know the minute I decide to go back in that it will. And this one will be the big one. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm lost. I wish I had a financial advisor that I could actually talk to and, let them know what my fears and concerns were, because the average guy out there would just think you're nuts, right? He's nuts. He's one of those guys. Well, not one of those guys. I'm a normal guy. look at things with common sense and say it shouldn't be, 2 plus 2 7, and scale and stocks where they are and what they're going to do with taxes now and all that doesn't make sense. And you wonder, are they literally trying to implode it? Look what he's talking about on capital gains tax, from 20% to over 40%. So not only, let's say I make 10% in the market, in the stock market, they're going to take half that 10%. Half. And my broker today tried to tell me that, well, that's only for, the super high net worth individuals and for those making over $1 million a year and this and that. Well, okay, well, so if I make $100,000 in the market this year, I'm not going to pay that same 40% that guy is? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. I don't get the difference. That's a crock of shit to me. I wish I had a broker I could actually talk to that had the same concerns really to you, as opposed to, business comes first. Well, I got to get them to invest or I'm not making any money. How about from a fiduciary standpoint where I got to tell him what I really believe or what's really going on so he understands and can protect himself? That's the part I don't agree with or have a hard time finding. Wish I could find somebody that would speak plainly with you about it, or at least address your concerns. And it doesn't seem to exist. It seems like they're just all in it for the money and throw around the same terms, and all they want to invest you in is mutual funds. And when you think about it, what's a mutual fund and who invests in it? Stockbrokers invest in them. These big, because they're using your money, but if a guy that's financially versed and is trying to make money and makes his living buying and selling financial instruments, he does not go out and buy mutual funds. Well, a mutual fund is a basket of stocks that spread the risk between different markets, and it's this basket. We put it together, and this one may do poorly, but these three will make up for it. And your risk is spread out, and really, it's a great plan. You'll never get hurt doing this. Well, if they're so great, why aren't they doing it? No, mutual funds were developed to sell to the middle class and upper middle class. Effectively a thing to sell to dummies, right? Okay, dummy doesn't know anything about the market, doesn't know how to analyze stocks and companies and performance and all of that. So we're going to develop this neat little package and we're going to market like this, and they're going to buy it. And we're going to make money when they buy. We're going to make money when it goes up, and we're going to make money when it falls and they lose all their money. They don't buy them. They market it to you. And that's a terrible thing. I want to buy what they're buying. I don't get it. Anyhow, I see people are dropping off like flies here, probably because of what I'm talking about. They're here for guns, not for investment and the rest of it. But with what's coming down the pipe, guys, invest that money that maybe you would have put in other places in the things that they're looking to take away. And it's real simple. It's mags. It's what are they after? Suppressors, ammo, guns that kind of straddle that line, any black gun, any assault weapon, any of those things, anything that's in the news, that's what you want to be buying. Import weapons, all of that stuff. Imports. I still think they're going to do an import ban. I really do. But that being said, guys, I think I'm going to close it out. What do we have to say here? Corner of the closet for generations. Let's see. You can't go buy guns or ammo without a FOID. That case was about a woman who had a shotgun without a FOID. I get the impression she didn't even have ammo for it. You know, the shotgun that's been in corner. Okay, I get it. I get it. Anyhow, there's 6 of you left in here. I don't even know who's in here. I figure Orion's in here, maybe a couple other guys falling asleep to the sound of my voice. Anyhow, I appreciate you guys that hung in here this long. And God, we're going on 3 hours almost. I had a ton of fun. I had a ton to talk about. And thanks. I'm not going to make any promises on next week, but we will try to be here for next week. And we'll do the all AK show next week. And I'm going to do this week's range work and everything around that. So maybe I can even get a way to plug some video in here. Range work and everything around that. So maybe I can even get a way to plug some video in here. Anyhow, didn't see my friend 2AEDU in here tonight. Didn't see a bunch of people in here. So maybe next week they'll be back. We'll see. So if you guys got nothing else, no other questions, stay safe, guys. Get out there and shoot a little. You know, it's a perishable skill. I know ammo's short and all that, but it's perishable. You need to get out there and train, and not just poke holes in paper. Do some simple drills. Look up some simple drills, you know, that can help you with your follow-up shots, that can help you with your draw, whatever the case may be. Check it out and be practicing, because that's the only way you keep yourself safe. Anyhow, until then, guys, hey, buy more, invest more in our hobby, try to bring somebody into our hobby, try to take somebody shooting that might not agree with how we think, and try something new in the world of firearms, whether it's reloading, another caliber, a different kind of shooting, whatever. But get out there and experience it. Stay safe. And dry fire. Dry firing, if you don't have the ammo, dry firing is great training, especially for trigger control and everything. It's awesome training. Don't be afraid of dry firing. Even most 22s today can be dry fired. So, get out there and do it. But, wrangle up some of that ammo that's hitting the shelves. See if you can find that pistol or rifle you've been wanting. Invest in making your life easier at the range, or making bullets, or whatever the case may be. You'll be happy you did. And stay safe. Keep the kids safe. Keep the family safe. Keep yourself safe. God bless this country. God bless you. And that's about it. Hey, check out some of our videos. Check out that one on the little shorty AR that I put out there. And I'll have a couple more coming to you this week. I've got film and footage for 10 videos I can put out. So if I really worked at it, I could pop one a day, but we'll at least get 1 or 2 out to you between now and Sunday. So we will talk to you soon, guys, whether it's on video or on live stream. Maybe I'll pop another live stream here in a few days. We'll see. So keep an eye out for it. But all of you, thanks very much for everyone that shows up here every week. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I thank you for listening to me babble for 2 hours, 44 minutes. All right, guys. Love you all. Thanks again. And as always, Rockford Ordnance out. Good night.